Hi, hello everyone! I'm Toshi from Japan and tourist guide for foreigners. In this video, I'll show you
6 things to know about Japan cherry blossom information in 2026. Japan's cherry blossoms are famous all over the world, and after my previous video, I got tons of questions about the 2026 Sakura season. So in this video, I'll break down the latest cherry blossom forecast for 2026, based on the most recent announcements from Japan's Meteorological Agency. I'll show you the best dates to visit, the top places to see cherry blossoms, what crowds will be like, and some local tips to enjoy Sakura without the stress. And if you can't travel during peak bloom, don't worry. I'll also share secret ways to enjoy cherry blossoms outside the usual season. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when and where to go to experience Japan's cherry blossom season at its best. Plus, I also offer guided tour in Japan, travel itineraries based on trip duration and area, and recommendations for unique cultural experiences.
You can find more information in the description below. So, let's get started.
Number 1 is why cherry blossoms matter in Japan. Before we dive into the details, let's take a moment to talk about Hanami, or cherry blossom viewing. Hanami is one of Japan's most iconic spring traditions. People gather under blooming cherry trees to enjoy food, drinks, and truly breathtaking scenery. It's personally one of my favorite events of the year, and I always celebrate it with friends. But Hanami isn't just a local tradition anymore. It's become incredibly popular with international travelers as well. Recently, I've received more and more questions about cherry blossom tours, as many visitors plan their trips specifically around this season. However, cherry blossoms are extremely delicate. The peak bloom usually lasts only about 2 weeks, from late March to early April. And in 2026, meteorologists expect bloom timing to vary more by region due to climate changes. Some areas may bloom earlier, others later. That's why having the latest and most accurate information is more important than ever.
In the next chapter, I'll share the newest cherry blossom forecast for 2026, so stay with me.
Number 2 is Japan's 2026 cherry blossom forecast. According to the latest forecast from the Japan Meteorological Agency, cherry blossom timing in 2026 will vary by region. Because of warmer temperatures in early spring, eastern and northern Japan are expected to bloom earlier than usual, while western Japan should be close to average. In Tokyo, the first bloom is forecast around March 22. Osaka and Kyoto are expected to follow around March 25. But here's an important point to remember. First bloom does not mean full bloom. It simply means the very first flowers have opened. If you want to see cherry blossoms at their peak, full bloom is expected around March 29 in Tokyo, April 1 in Osaka, and April 2 in Kyoto. This is about 5 days earlier than last year, so you may need to adjust your travel plans. That said, forecasts can change. For example, in 2025, cherry blossoms bloomed almost a week later than originally predicted. So always check the latest updates.
I'll keep you updated with any new information, so please subscribe to my channel.
If you would like a personal guide in Japan or need recommendations for travel plans and cultural experiences,
Please contact me from the link in the description section.
Number 3 is where to see the best Sakura in Japan. Japan has countless beautiful places to enjoy cherry blossoms, but since it's impossible to cover them all, I'll focus on 3 cities most travelers visit: Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, and some of the best Sakura spots in each. Let's start with Tokyo. I highly recommend Yoyogi Park and Oeno Park. Both offer wide open spaces, perfect for picnics under the cherry trees with friends or family. If you prefer a scenic walk, head to the Meguro River, where cherry trees line the riverbanks. You'll also find food stalls along the way, making it a great spot to enjoy local snacks as you stroll. Next is Osaka. Visit Osaka Castle Park and Expo 70 Commemorative Park. Osaka Castle Park is similar to Tokyo's large parks, with plenty of space to relax under the blossoms. Expo Park, famous for the Tower of the Sun, becomes especially stunning when cherry blossoms surround this iconic landmark. Finally, Kyoto. My top recommendation here is Kiyomizudera Temple. This historic site welcomes over 5 million visitors each year. In 2026, it will feature special nighttime illuminations from March 27 to April 5, creating a magical atmosphere with softly lit temples and cherry blossoms. Of course, these are just a few highlights. Choose the spots that fit your trip best.
Of course, these are just a few highlights. Choose the spots that fit your trip best.
Number 4 is best days to see cherry blossoms in Japan, without the crowds. Cherry blossoms in Japan are absolutely breathtaking, but many travelers want to enjoy them without overwhelming crowds. So in this chapter, let's talk about crowd patterns for the 2026 Sakura season. In general, from the first bloom around March 22 until full bloom in early April, about 2 weeks, crowds are expected nationwide. However, even during this peak period, some days are much busier than others. The most crowded days will likely be weekends, especially March 28, March 29, April 4, and April 5. If you prefer a calmer experience, consider visiting on weekdays from March 23 to March 27, or between March 30 and April 3. From my experience last year at Yoyogi Park and Ueno Park, during peak season, even restrooms had very long lines, so I strongly recommend going earlier than usual. And yes, in Japan some people even camp overnight to secure the best hanami spots. Also keep in mind that crowd levels can change depending on the weather.
Always check both the cherry blossom forecast and the weather forecast before you go.
Number 5 is best spots outside peak season. If you are planning a trip to Japan but can't visit during the main cherry blossom season, don't worry, there are still great ways to enjoy beautiful sakura. First, if you are arriving before the main season, look for early blooming cherry blossoms, known as kawazu sakura. These blossoms start blooming as early as February, and are a deeper pink than the typical Same Yoshino. One of the best places to see them is Miura Beach in Kanagawa, which is an easy day trip from Tokyo. Second, if you're visiting after the peak season, head north. In Aomori, cherry blossoms usually bloom around April 18th, with peak viewing around April 22. In Hokkaido, they bloom even later, around April 26, reaching full bloom near April 30. Because of the cooler climate, cherry blossoms appear almost a month later than in Tokyo or Osaka.
So no matter where you visit Japan, there is almost always a way to enjoy cherry blossom.
Number 6 is Mount Fuji and cherry blossoms. Did you know that Mount Fuji is not only Japan's tallest mountain, but also one of its most stunning cherry blossom spots? Standing at nearly 3,700 meters, this UNESCO World Heritage Site attracts visitors from all over the world with its iconic beauty. During cherry blossom season, countless travelers come to see the magical combination of Mount Fuji and Sakura. In fact, one of my friends from the United States traveled all the way to Japan just to experience this view. Now, let's talk about timing. Because of the higher elevation, cherry blossoms around Mount Fuji bloom later than in Tokyo, usually from mid to late April. In 2026, the popular Lake Kawaguchi area is forecast to begin blooming around April 9, with full bloom expected around April 16. Imagine the iconic silhouette of Mount Fuji, framed by soft pink cherry blossoms. It's a once-in-a-lifetime view, completely different from typical hanami spots. I saw it myself last year with friends, and it was truly unforgettable. Don't miss it.
How was today's video? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like button. See you in my next video. Bye!